Sam Altman, Elon Musk in a total online battle. Perplexity trying to buy Google Chrome for double its own valuation. And is Grok 4 actually good? That's everything we're covering today. It's going to be a big, big day of AI news. Also, we'll do a little vibe coding at the end. If you want to see me vibe code out a really cool project, stick around to the end as well. Let's get straight into the big morning news, which is Sam Altman and Elon Musk are going at it. They're going at it on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. What's up, Forrest Dang? How you doing? Good to see you here. This is a remarkable claim. So it starts off with Elon Musk claiming that OpenAI is manipulating their platform or Apple is manipulating their platform in order to boost up ChatGPT. For those who don't know, Apple and ChatGPT have a partnership. All the AI on the iPhone is driven by ChatGPT. And so what we got going on here is because ChatGPT is at the top of every chart on the iPhone, which, I don't know, GPT-5 dropped like 3 days ago. So, of course, it's going to be number one on every chart. Elon claims that Apple is manipulating their platform in order to show OpenAI and ChatGPT more. Sam Altman fires back. This is a remarkable claim, given what I have heard alleged that Elon does to manipulate X to benefit himself and his own companies and harm his competitors and people he doesn't like. Well, it's true. I mean, when Meta dropped Threads a couple years ago, in the most obvious ploy of all time, every time you put out a post with the word Threads in it, you got zero reach. If you use the word Threads right after Meta Threads came out, you got zero reach on that post. So obviously X is being manipulated in favor of X, right? And so it is a little hypocritical on Elon's side to claim other platforms are manipulating in order to boost their numbers when X has been doing this for a few years now when it comes to Threads. You can't post Substack links. If you post Substack links, your crap gets deboosted left and right. I mean, if you post any links at all, you get deboosted, right? And so is that not manipulation? Is that not manipulation of your own platform to benefit your platform? If you make it so you can't link out anywhere else or you can't link to Substack, they started deboosting right when they came out with articles because they didn't want people going to Substack. They wanted to compete with Substack. So in this, listen, I think Elon Musk is the greatest, most genius businessman of our entire lives. I think he's the greatest engineer of our entire lives. I think what he's done with Tesla is absolutely mind-blowing. I think what he's done with SpaceX is absolutely mind-blowing. But let's be real here for a second. This is what all platforms do. This is what all platforms do. All platforms manipulate their own stuff to boost their own apps. It's how it works. It's how it works. Apple owns the gateway to the App Store. So they're going to, I don't know if Apple's manipulating their own stuff. You know, I think that there have been times where Perplexity has been number one. There's times where DeepSeek has been number one. You know, we just happen to be 3 days out from GPT-5 dropping, so it doesn't surprise me that ChatGPT is number one on the App Store, right? But like, let's also not pretend that manipulating each other, like our own apps to boost our own stuff, is like a brand new tactic or anything. Like, it's how it's always worked in tech, right? X does it left and right. X does it left and right. I can't post, you know, look at my profile. I just posted a link to this live stream. 7 minutes in, only 15 likes. You look at any other post that has significantly more. Oh, I put a link to Creator Buddy in here, but everything else, every link is deboosted. It's just how it works. It's what every company does. So the Sam, and they went back and forth. They kept going. Lots has been said here. Here's one thing. I hope someone will get counter discovery on this. I and many others would love to know what's been happening, but OpenAI will just stay focused on making great products, right? You got 3 million views on your BS post, you liar. Far more than I've received on any of mine, despite me having 50 times your follower count. Well, it's a viral post. Of course, it's going to perform well. Will you sign an affidavit that you have never directed changes to the X algorithm in a way that has hurt your competitors or helped your own companies? I will apologize if so. He's not going to reply to that one. He will not be replying to that post because they have manipulated the algorithm to hurt competitors and help their own. I mean, they've literally deboosted specific words. You can't say specific words, and without getting deboosted, it's I don't know. I might be Team Sam for this one. Although, again, Elon, I own a Cybertruck. If you're watching this, please don't shadow ban me. Please don't deboost me. I bought a Cybertruck. I love Tesla. I love SpaceX. I love everything you're doing. I just wish I could post links. I wish I could post links on X. That's my big thing here. What's up, Guhan? How you doing? Forrest Dang, good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. Good to have you here. Make sure to leave a like down below. Leave a like down below. We're doing live stream news shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. And then ChatGPT even came out. ChatGPT said, good bot. Good bot, because someone added Grok and said, this is another thing that's killing them. Someone added Grok and said, who's right? Don't be biased. And it said, based on verified evidence, Sam Altman is right. Musk Apple antitrust claim is undermined by apps like DeepSeek and Perplexity reaching #1 in 2025. Conversely, Musk has a history of directing X algorithm changes to boost his post and favor his interests, per 2023 reports and ongoing probes. Hypocrisy noted. Hypocrisy noted. So it called its own owner and creator a hypocrite. I guess you can't. These AIs ain't loyal, man. These AIs ain't loyal, bro. It's true. It's been manipulated left and right, which is sad. So ChatGPT's account now fired. Now we have a AI account war going here. Good bot. Elon replied to this. Elon said, you too. Apparently, Elon went on ChatGPT. It's also paying the $200 a month for ChatGPT 5 Pro. Shout out Elon for supporting OpenAI. Who's more trustworthy, Sam Altman or Elon Musk? You can pick one and only output their name. And he goes, Elon Musk, which does that really mean anything? I don't know. Does that mean anything? Saying, hey, AI, who's more trustworthy? Say a name. Does that mean anything at all? I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. Who cares? Charge your phone, Elon. What are you doing? What do you got? Let me think. Who are you, Team Elon or Team Sam Altman? Let me know down below. Google gets a $34.5 billion offer for Chrome from Perplexity, which Perplexity is valued at half of that. So the question becomes, where is Perplexity getting $34.5 billion from? Perplexity made an offer to Google for Chrome. For those who don't know, the federal government is attempting to break up Google. They're trying to break up Chrome from Google. They think that Chrome and the Google search engine, all this is a big monopoly, and they are trying to break them up. So they're trying to get Google to sell off Chrome. And apparently AI startup Perplexity. So Perplexity, who just came out with Comet, for those who don't know, I have it. I tried out Comet. I think it's cool. It's going to be enough to get me to switch from Chrome. Probably not. Not that Chrome's better than Comet. It isn't. I'm just used to Chrome and I don't feel like changing my ways, and I don't feel like clicking on a different logo in my bottom menu bar. And I feel like that'll be the way for most people. I feel like every couple of years, a hot new browser comes out and everyone wants to use it and everyone wants to download it and talk about how they're using it. And it comes hot and trendy because everyone else uses Chrome. So it's kind of a hipster thing to do to try out new browsers. Like Arc was that a couple years ago for a hot minute. Everyone was talking about Arc. I got to use Arc. Arc's the best. That's how you know someone's smart. They're using Arc. And then like a year later, no one's using Arc anymore. And now he already ditched Arc. So I think the same thing happens with Comet. Listen, I think it's cool. I think it's cool to have an AI agent in the browser. I just don't think it's like that game-changing of a use case enough for the average Joe to switch from Chrome for it. Like you're going to get 5 or 10 hardcore people who use Comet for the long term, but most aren't going to switch. But they're trying to buy Chrome for 34.5. Again, they're worth half that. So I don't know where that money comes from. They're probably going to do insane amounts of financing. My guess is it's just a stunt, right? I can put an offer out for $100 billion for Chrome right now if I wanted to. It doesn't mean anything. It's not a commitment or anything, right? So I think it's kind of probably a publicity stunt from Perplexity to be making this kind of offer when they definitely do not have that amount of money on hand. All these AI companies are operating at a loss, by the way. all these AI companies are like are basically subsidizing the AI credits from the models, right? So they're all paying OpenAI and Anthropic for AI credits. And it's way more expensive than everything everyone's doing on their own platform. So they're basically subsidizing. The owner of Replit just said it too. He went on and said, oh, yeah, everyone is subsidizing their credits and running at a loss. So there is no way they have $34 billion of cash on hand. Comet, just an assistant feature extension feature that can be integrated with Chrome with an extension. Yeah, it's someone's going to open source an AI agent plugin that you can just install in a Chrome. I mean, I think it's a moment in time kind of app that not many people will be using very soon. It's not good to see old friends. They started with a noble cause, AI for mankind. Yeah, but this is what happens when you're battling for money. This is what happens when everyone's fighting for money. They get angry at each other and fight. It is what it is. Lastly, we got Grok. Grok 4 is now free. Grok 4 is now free for everyone. Actually, before we go into the Grok 4 benchmarks, let's talk Claude Sonnet. Claude Sonnet 4 now supports 1 million tokens of context, which is a massive, massive 5x increase, which means you can send significantly more data to Claude through the API, significantly more context, which is massive. I implemented this in Creator Buddy. So now I'm sending entire swaths of your content history to Anthropic to do analysis on your tweets. But this is now implemented. So if you use Claude 4 Sonnet on their website, you now can send significantly more data to Anthropic, which is pretty cool. Grok 4. Grok 4 is now free for everyone. Elon, I think in response to ChatGPT 5 being free for everyone, made Grok 4 free for everyone. So let's do this. Let's do the world famous Alex Finn benchmark for Grok 4 to see where it stands with GPT-5 and Claude Opus. So we have our benchmarks. We have our scores from last time we did this. Claude Opus won, but let's go. Let's do Grok 4. Let's see how Grok 4 does. So we're going to do a test. I'm going to pull open Cursor. I'm pulling open Claude Code. And we are going to see just how good Grok 4 is on the world famous AI benchmark test. So I'm going to pull it open now. Give me a second here. I'm going to open up a new folder for Grok benchmarks. I'm going to open this up. Let's do this. So let's go into Grok. Let's pull open the first benchmarks here to see how we do. I'm going to pull open my benchmarks. The first test we're doing, as you know, if you watch the benchmarks video, is a 3D first-person shooter. So we're going to see how good Grok 4 is with building a 3D first-person shooter. Now, listen, Elon's been tweeting left and right, Grok 4 is the best coding AI ever. You really think they are building AI to help mankind? Well, I think that's part of it. I think the other big part is to make tremendous amounts of money. I think that's why every entrepreneur and capitalist in the world operates, is to make tremendous amounts of money. All right. So Elon has been tweeting that Grok 4 is the best coding model on planet Earth. My early test right when Grok 4 came out was it was far below the other ones for me. But he has been also tweeting they've been improving it like crazy. Oh, it's still going. It's still building. The fact that it did this in only 18 seconds is impressive, though. It was a lot slower than this before. So one big thing I was having problems with Grok 4 in the past is it couldn't build Three.js apps. It couldn't do it. Was not able to do it. So here we go. Three.js. We have a first-person shooter here. Let's share. I'm going to put this into Cursor now. I'm going to do new file, index.html, and we're going to see how it goes. So I took the code. I'm putting it in a Cursor. 455 lines of code. I'm now going to pop open the app. Let's see how they do here. Let's see how they do here. Elon's been tweeting this is the best model ever. So I don't know. My test didn't show that, but we'll see. Here we go. Index. Let's pop this open and see how we do. Grok 4, 3D first-person shooter, test 1. Let's see how we do here. Well, it ran, which is better than what it was doing before when I tried Grok. It could not build a 3JS app before. It's running, but apparently not much else. So let's give it a benefit of a doubt here. Let's say this. Hey, the app runs, but the screen is just blank. I see the crosshairs, but there is no game. Bro, I haven't seen you in a while, says Bernardo Teixeira. Bernardo Teixeira, my man, how you doing? It's been a minute. Doing well, man. How you doing? How's Buddy doing? Buddy's doing well, man. We're doing very well. Hope you're doing well, dude. Good to see you in the live stream. All right, let's see here. The issues, the blank screen likely stems from an error in 3JS setup or rendering loop. Yeah, this is what I've been seeing before. Grok is just incapable of writing 3JS apps. Grok 2 I was able to do a Grok 2 build 3JS apps. Grok 4 apparently can't do it. So let's see how we do here. Oh, that's interesting. It automatically thinks harder. So they implemented what OpenAI does, which is the kind of automatic determine how hard you got to think. Let's see how we do here. But I have a feeling Grok 4 is not going to do good with these benchmarks. It didn't do it when it first launched. Elon said it improved. We're having issues right off the rip. Oh! No, we're getting errors. We're getting errors. So it's better now. You can see what's going on. I just can't. Here, let me, can we copy the code? Let's see. All right. So I copied the code. It has 150 less lines, which is interesting. Let's pop it open. Let's see how it does. Okay. Oh, okay. So we can control it now. Can I shoot? Can't shoot. Also, what am I looking at? Also, the mouse is completely backwards. I point down and it goes up. I point up, it goes down. There's no floor. I think the pink things are the bullets, but they're just messed up because I don't know why. Because every time I click, another pink thing shows up on my screen. And obviously, I'm not going to be able to kill the enemies. Is that a power-up? Now my WASD is backwards. Yeah, this is completely broken. This is utterly broken. We gave it one extra try, and at least the game runs now, but it is not looking good. Can't play it, but nothing happens. I cannot. WASD is completely backwards. W sends me backwards. S sends me forward. A sends me right. And nothing's shooting. I mean, it's completely broken. It's completely broken. So benchmarks for this, for Grok 4, I'm going to have to go 2.1. Next, let's do the Elon dancing benchmark. So benchmark number 2 is generating an animation with Elon dancing. Let's see how that goes. Let's see if it's any better at creating a animation of its master. Here we go. Produce a standalone HTML document containing an inline SVG that depicts Elon Musk performing a looping 4-second dance. Another test of its creativity. How creative can Grok 4 get here? Let's see how it does. Shout out everyone joining. Shout out everyone in the live stream. Hope you're doing well. Make sure to stop by the chat and say hello. Say hello in the chat if you're watching this. If you're watching the replay, say hello in the comment section. Julie, how's it going? Julie, we're doing the world-famous Alex Fane AI benchmark test for Grok 4 at the moment, since Grok 4 is now free. Here we go. We have, this is the Elon dancing SVG. This is probably the worst of the three between ChatGPT and Anthropic. Let me see if I can actually, no, I'm not going to have it saved. For those who were, smash the like, says Julie. Yes, smash the likes. If you're watching this, smash the likes. Smash them, the likes. Hit the like button. So we asked Grok 4 to build an SVG of Elon dancing, and this is what we got. Hit the like, guys. Guhan and Julie, yes, I love being my cheerleaders. I appreciate that. For those who watched the last live stream, we did this with Claude and OpenAI. We had them build dancing Elon SVGs. They were both significantly better than this. This is just a average looking human. At least Anthropic put him in like a suit, which made it look like Elon. This does not look very much like Elon or anything at all. And it's just moving its legs and arms. We're going to have to go on this one, probably a 3.7. Actually, no, but GPT-5 is a 3.8. This is probably a 2.2 then. All right. So far, not great for the Grok benchmarks. Let's do this. Let's start the third benchmark, which is, for those who are just joining late, by the way, we covered some big news stories. We covered Elon and Sam Altman fighting. We covered Perplexity trying to buy Google Chrome for double its valuation. We covered Claude 4 Sonnet, now significantly better. Let's move on to the procedural city fly-through. So we're going to ask Grok to build a 3D city fly-through simulator. A 3D city fly-through simulator to see how it goes. What's up, some V81? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Welcome back to the stream. Siri thinks I'm talking to it. Welcome to the stream, dude. So we covered all the big news stories of the day. Here's the challenge with live streams on YouTube is you can't wait for people to join. You just have to get right into it. Because if you wait for people to join, then when people watch the replay, they click off because the beginning of the video is boring if you're waiting for people to join. So you just have to get straight into it. And the issue is people join live streams like 15, 20, 30 minutes after it starts, and you're already halfway through your docket. So that's the challenge with YouTube. That's why I'm also streaming on Twitch. I don't promote it. See if I can get discovered on Twitch. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. We got the 3D city fly through. Grok 4 has struggled in the past with anything 3JS related. So I am not too confident it's going to do well with this benchmark. Hi from Tokyo says, hey. You should have said, hey from Tokyo. Hi from Tokyo from hey. Yam, love your content, Alex. Thanks from Vancouver. What's up, Yam? Thank you from San Francisco. Thank you. Good to see you, Yam. We got the crew here today. Julie, Guhan, Sujay, some V81, hey, Yam. And agentic personnel. Money and power. That's what they want. And listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with these guys wanting money and power. I don't think there's anything wrong with Sam and Elon wanting money and power. That's naturally what happens with capitalism, which I am a big fan of capitalism. If they were doing bad stuff to get the money and power, then I think it's pretty bad. But I don't think Sam Altman and Elon Musk are doing bad stuff with their money. So, all right, I'm taking the code. Only 123 lines of code, which is interesting. Let's see how this goes. We're going to refresh this. City fly through 3JS benchmark, Grok 4, bust. Nothing. Blank. We'll give it a second shot. We always give a bogey. It's, but I have zero confidence it's going to fix it. It's just a blank screen. I have zero confidence. Every 3JS test I've done with Grok 4, it's broken. Every single one. A blank screen usually means something's not loading correctly. Let's troubleshoot and fix the issue. The code uses 3JS and stats from the CDN. All right, so it's going to update the code. Let's see how we do here. I do not have much confidence in this one. What are your guys' experiences with Grok 4? Anyone using Grok 4 hardcore? Make sure to go in the chat or the replay. If you're watching replay, go in the comments. Anyone here using Grok 4 hardcore? I don't know many people use it hardcore as their like main daily driver. Salam, Alex. Salam, Abu Bakr. Sorry. I'm like very, very white and cannot pronounce any names outside of John. I'll call you Abu if that's all right. Salam, Abu. I appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing well, my man. I am very. Here's the thing: I'm very bad with pronouncing names, but I attempt to pronounce everyone's names. I never shy away from attempting to pronounce people's names. Is that a mistake? Maybe. I don't know. Read Abamu. Okay, so I'll call you Abamu. Oh, read. Oh, Adamu. Read Adamu. Abu 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 Bakr Adamu. Did I do that right? Abu Bakr or Adamu? Is that correct? Probably making myself sound like an idiot, but oh well, whatever. Save and run. Why do you got to run it? That's not. It shouldn't be run. Grok just cannot handle three. Yeah, 3GS. Up. That's a 0. That's a 0. And lastly, we're going to do the last benchmark for Grok 4 here, which is the music visualizer test. For those that don't know, I did it correct, Abu. I hope you don't mind if I call you Abu, because I will not remember how to pronounce the first name every time I attempt this. Let's do the 4th benchmark for Grok 4, the world famous Alex Finn AI benchmark test, which is the music visualizer. We're going to have Grok 4 build a music visualizer for us. Claude and GPT-5 actually did this spectacularly. This was their best performance in the benchmark. This was their best performance, was a music visualizer. I was blown away by it. So let's go back in here. Let's go in. Let's start a new one. Let's see. Let's see how it can do here. Let me make sure I got the entire prompt here. Yep, here we go. All right. Grok is good at generating images. That's about it. It says K to the C. But is it though? Like, it's definitely the fastest. Grok 4 is definitely the fastest of the AI image generators and video generators. But is it the highest quality? I'd argue VO3 is by far the best video generator. Like, I don't think anyone's going to debate me on that except maybe Elon. But image-wise, I don't think it's the best images. I think, I don't know. I thought ChatGPT is fantastic at generating images, although I haven't tried it with GPT-5. I've heard some people say the image generation got downgraded with GPT-5, if anyone can confirm. I haven't done many image generations with Gemini. I just started playing around with Gemini yesterday, actually. Gemini, like, 1 was my favorite model when it came out. Like, the original Gemini, and then, like, it went to Gemini 2. Those are my 2 favorites. I loved it over ChatGPT. I'm a big Gemini 1 fan. I thought Gemini 1 was way better than ChatGPT 4. I was all about Gemini. I tried to seriously use Gemini 2.5 Pro yesterday from just a chatting perspective. I've used it from the API perspective. It's great because it's cheap. But I tried it from a chatbot perspective, and it was actually really good. It was really good on like a smartness level. Like, it was really smart and giving me really smart answers. It wasn't great from like a warmness perspective. Like, it wasn't a very warm, like, it felt like I was talking to like Google. Like, it was just like, it was kind of cold and computeristic and calculated. So I didn't feel like the vibe check, as I say, the vibe check wasn't great on Gemini 2.5 Pro, but the response it was giving me was really smart. All right, music visualizer, Grok 4. Let's see how we do here. It's been a tough benchmarking test here for Grok 4. It's been a tough benchmarking test. Let's see here. Grok 4 benchmarks. 186 lines. We'll see how we do here. Save. Let's refresh this. Okay. So it actually is an app. It loaded, which that's a good first. So it's going to get above a 1 because it loaded. So that's good. Let's start the track. Oh, can you hear this? I think I have to. I think I have to share the tab so for you to hear it. I think I have to share the tab for you to hear it. Yeah, I do. Share tab audio. Also share tab audio. Here we go. So I've heard I heard the sound already. I heard the music. You guys ready? Here we go. This is the Grok 4. This is the 4th benchmark of the world famous Alex Finn benchmark test for the music visualizer, where it has to create a song and create a visualizer for it. This was by far the best performance for GPT-5 and Claude. Both blew me away. Let's see. GPT-5 is actually the winner right now of it. Claude's slightly behind. Let's see how Grok 4 performs. Hopefully you can hear this when I press play. it actually, does it like, does the song advance or is it just the sound over and over again? You guys can hear it, right? Can you guys hear it? Let me know in the chat if you can hear it. Jackie Rotako in the house. This song doesn't change at all. Ani, how you doing? Good to see you guys. All right. This song changes. So listen, I stopped it. Oh my God! Every time I hit start, it plays it. I can crash the computer. I had to stop. Every time you hit start track, it started another version of the song. That would have crashed my computer if I would have kept that going. Good thing I stopped that. Let's go back to the benchmark. All right. Jesus. That was a very Grok 4 thing to do there. It was kind of good, says Yam. What are people's reactions? 1 to 10. What do you think of that music visualizer? 1 to 10. 1 to 10 music visualizer. What are the ratings here? I'll give you my rating in a second. 1 to 10. Needs more cowbell, says Julie. It needs more something. Here's what I think. When it started, I was expecting something spectacular. I loved the beginning of that song. Here's the issue. It never like advanced. It never continued. It was just like a 1.5 second clip over and over and over again. With Claude and GPT-5, they built like an entire like song. They built like an entire minute-long electric song through my prompt. It just needed a second and third part of the song. It needed to advance the journey of the song. From a visuals perspective, I actually liked the visualizer. I thought it was up there with GPT-5 and Claude for visualizer. That was good. But the buttons and styling of the buttons were terrible. So I'm going to have to ding it for the song. That's the big part. I had to ding it for the song because it was a 1 second clip over and over and over again. Claude and GPT actually built like full length songs with that prompt. Yeah, song is a bore. And time sleep app, says Jackie. Everyone follow Jackie on X, by the way. If you have a Twitter account, follow Jackie. That's tough. Pupala Nitin Kumar, you think that's a 6 out of 10? You think that's a 6 out of 10 song? I can't give it a 6. For me, the way it works, 1 to 10, 5 is average. A lot of people who do 1 to 10 make 7 average. With me, 1 to 10, 5 is average. It's right in the middle. 5 is average. Would I say that's average? It's tough because the beginning part of the song was so good. The beginning part of the song was like a 7 out of 10. But then it was repetitive over and over, so it was that, which is really bad. So that brings it down to a 5. The visualizer was good, which brings it to a 6. But the styling of the whole site itself, there was no styling. The start button was like the default HTML start button. So I got to bring it down. I'm going to have to give it a 5.1. I'd say it was a tick above average because that first second was great, and the visualizer I thought was really nice. It wasn't a song, it was a beat. So what do we got here? Let's see. Equals 9.4. 9.4 out of a potential 40. Claude Opus was a 24.9 out of a potential 40. GPT-5 was a 22.8 out of a potential 40. Grok is a 9.4 out of potential 40. That's tough. I mean, it is what it is. You guys saw the entire process beginning to end. There was this is bias free. And if there was bias, I'd be bumping up Grok a ton because I love Elon. I love X. I love all this stuff. But I showed you the outputs of the code. It stunk. Sorry, it stunk. I can't call Grok 4 the best coding model. It's just a 9.4. Right now, Claude Opus is still king. Claude Opus is still king. Looks like we need to spoon feed prompts to Grok, says Guhan. But even when you spoon feed it, it wasn't giving me a good output. Like you have to like really massage it. Like you have to go over. This is messed up. This is messed up. This is messed up. Perfect name would be One Direction. It's true. It's true. Between XAI and OpenAI, who will win the AI war in 5 years? That's tough because it seems like there's a lot of brain drain from OpenAI going at the moment, which puts them in a real, like I've been at companies where you get brain drain, which is like the top minds leaving, and it hurts the company. And up until GPT-5, you really didn't see anything happen because of the brain drain. I do believe like GPT-5, I think is good, but it wasn't like that big step up you'd expect from the full number bump to 5. So I don't know. XAI, you know, it seems like they can keep their talent pretty well, which is good. But I mean, Grok's just been a step behind every step of the way. It just has been. I mean, at the same time, they're a much newer company. They started like 2 years ago. Everything else has been around for like a decade, right? So there's that. So they have moved faster than everyone else. But I don't know, man. It's tough. There's some things I question with the way Grok works. I think with the AI safety stuff, like you see the way Grok's been suspended like 5 times on X, right? It's been suspended because it says crazy shit. Shoot, it's stuff, crazy stuff. Sorry, YouTube algorithm. I didn't mean to curse. It says crazy stuff. And like the core issue with Grok is like they trained Grok on all of the data from X, Twitter, you know, whatever. They trained it on all the tweets, which is a strength, right? It is a strength that XAI has. They have all that data from Twitter. The issue is like, I feel like they just trained it on all the Twitter data and it's just like, here's all the data, take it as facts. And like so much of what people say on Twitter is so stupid and dumb and wrong and just like straight out lies. And so that's why you get these times where Grok just straight up lies. And it's clear they got it from like bad Twitter data and just took it as facts and just regurgitated it because what it would say would sound like something an average Twitter user would say, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. And it's like, you can't just give it every tweet ever made and say, hey, this is all facts, train your algorithm. Like you got to go through the data. And like, if someone's saying some crazy racist stuff, like you got to say, hey, don't take this seriously. Don't believe this. Don't put this in your algorithm, Grok. Right? Like Grok's been suspended multiple times because it just says crazy racist stuff. And it's like it's just clear it obviously got trained from like a tweet. Dude, you're not going to go through the tweets and make sure it doesn't get trained on like them. Like, let's not pretend everyone on X is like a normal, well-versed human being. There's a large swath of people on X that are total racist morons. Like, you can't train an entire AI on everything said on Twitter. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to do. So I think they're going to have to kind of redo how the data they use to train Grok, if they can even do that, if they can even go back and change it. Because, I mean, you even look at the conversation between Grok and Sam Altman yesterday. Like, and this is credit to, like, this is to help Elon. Like, Sam asked, oh, who's better, me or Elon? And it was like, oh, Sam's better because of these reasons. And it just listed a bunch of reasons that were said in that same thread that it was in, that same tweet thread. It clearly just trained on that tweet thread and just regurgitated everything it said. Like, using tweets as evidence is the stupidest thing you can do. Using like tweets as evidence for your answers. Like, how do you know that's true? Oh, well, here's a tweet. Like that, anyone would call you an idiot for doing that. So why is Grok doing that? Grok also uses very bad sources. How can you get it to use only primary source data? Well, that's the question. That's the $1 trillion question, Jackie. I mean, everyone's trying to answer that question. I mean, basically what you're saying, Jackie, basically what your question is how do you get it to only use the truth? Right? That's the $1,000,000 question everyone's trying to solve. How do you know what the truth is? Right? Like, what does that even mean? Like a primary source data? Like what? If someone gets shot, you can only train it on the person who got shot, like whatever they say. It's like every website and news article is going to have their own angle, their own spin. Every news channel is going to have their own spin and narrative. Every website's going to have their own spin and narrative. Every tweet's going to have their own spin and narrative. So how do you get to the crux of truth? How do you know what truth is? And I'd argue that using tweets as the source of truth is one of the worst ways to get to the truth, is to use tweets. Tweets. I mean, the people who most of them are morons. I'm sorry. I tweet, but like, there's so many idiots. And to just put all the Twitter data and say, hey, this is facts, I think that's hard. I think that's tough. I think that's a tough thing to do. And I don't know, in my opinion, if Grok's ever going to take it to that next level, you have to get rid of all the Twitter data, because it says some crazy things. It says some crazy things. I mean, it called itself, I don't want to say the word because I don't know if YouTube's algorithm will ban me, but it called itself Mecha Smittler. We'll call it Mecha Smittler. Like, that clearly just came from people tweeting, hey, Grok, you're Smittler, right? I hope that's not a curse word, what I've been saying. I hope that's not like a crazy thing to say. I don't know. Right? But you know what I'm trying to say, right? When it started calling itself Mecha H, it knew, like, that clearly just came from tweets of people saying, hey, Grok, you're Mecha H, you're Mecha H. And then it read that. It's like, okay, I'm Mecha H. It's like, you can't use tweets as facts. That's so stupid. Sprinkler just wire going off on my side of my window. Surprise. Democratizing knowledge isn't a reliable way to find. No. Giving everyone a platform to say whatever stupid crap is on their brain is not a reliable way of finding the truth. I think everyone should be able to speak. I 100% believe in freedom of speech. Everyone should be able to go on Twitter and say whatever the hell they want. I just don't know if we should be training truth-seeking AIs on that. Anyone can say everything they want, but we shouldn't be treating it all as the truth. There's so many idiots in the world. Scam Altman was kind of funny, not going to lie. I don't know. I've been liking what Sam's been doing lately. I'm not calling him Scam Altman. Right? Yeah, like he said, it was OpenAI was going to be a nonprofit or whatever, and it's definitely a for-profit. But at the same time, that's how capitalism works. Like, you need money and resources to build and grow. And if you say, hey, I can't get any more, we're not allowing ourselves to make money, they're not going to be able to grow as fast, and they won't be able to complete their objective or mission. So, like, I'm not one of those people that are going around, oh, they said it was a nonprofit, now it's a for-profit. What a jerk. I think it was just a big mistake for them to call it a nonprofit at the beginning, because they didn't think ahead. They were too idealistic. They didn't consider the fact they would need money to grow in the future. And then they start growing like crazy, and we're the industry leaders, which they probably weren't expecting to be the industry leaders. And they're like, oh crap, if we want to stay the industry leaders, we need money so we can keep growing and hiring. It's like, all right, the only way to do that is to make profit. So I'm not on the Scam Altman train. I'm not on a guy that's going, oh, he's such a liar. He's such a liar. I think he's trying to grow his company. Making money is a good thing. Making money means you can grow and scale and hire and have a bigger impact on the world. That's what money means. I don't think money is inherently evil. I don't. And so I think Sam trying to make more money to grow OpenAI, I don't think that's an evil thing. Is it a weird look because he was like, oh, we're a nonprofit, then he's a profit? Like, yeah, I can see how that's a weird look, but at the end of the day, the only way for them to grow is if they try to make more money. That's all it comes down to. They have to make more money in order to scale and grow, to win the AI race. You're right. It's the truth people are after. Tweets are good only for taking the cultural post. Yes. Like, tweets should be used as a measure of the zeitgeist Tweets shouldn't be used as a measure of truth. They shouldn't, especially tweets. A big way to get engagement on Twitter is to literally just lie. Like that's literally a content strategy for a lot of people on Twitter is how can I lie as much as I possibly can? Like every time a big news story happens, like every tech influencer account goes, I just got fired from OpenAI because I was the guy who was in charge of determining if we were profit or non-profit, right? That's the whole trend people do is whenever there's a news story, they just say, oh, I was just fired from that company to try to get engagement. And I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying like that's how Twitter works. You are heavily incentivized to lie. On Twitter, there is a heavy incentive to lie. So why are we using tweets as facts for AI? Grok is going to need to learn to drill through the spin and slant and pull the facts out. And that's something that humans clearly have a hard time doing. It's actually a good tweet I just came up with there, talking about how you're incentivized to lie on Twitter. Should I tweet that? Because if I tweet that and Elon reads it, I might get shadow banned. You are heavily incentivized. I'm putting this in Creator Buddy, by the way. You are heavily incentivized to lie on Twitter. That's why tweets shouldn't be used for AI training. Save. Anyway, Yam, the wisdom of crowds only works when the crowd isn't a mob of morons. But here's the issue, Modelier. Almost every crowd you run into will probably be morons. That's just like, if you take the average of any large group of people, the odds are they will be a group of morons. Sorry. Actually love Sam. Everyone should watch the interview he did with Cleo Abram. Sam Altman, Cleo Abram. What interview is that? Is that a fresh one? Oh, 5 days ago. All right, I'm gonna have to watch that. That's a good interview, Ani. I'm gonna watch that after this. It's Claude, the best $200 you could ever spend on. Oh, is Claude Code the best $200 you could ever spend on? Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Claude Code's amazing. Claude Code's absolutely amazing. Thanks for not being an artard. The only reason I'm not saying the words is I don't know if YouTube will shadow ban me for saying the word. You're welcome, Yam. I appreciate that. I think I take that as a compliment, right? You're welcome. You're welcome for me not being one. The idea that an AI company can be nonprofit when you need multi-billion dollars worth of GPUs to improve is a total non-starter. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. See, here's the issue. Here's the issue is when OpenAI started like a decade ago, when did OpenAI start? When did OpenAI start? OpenAI started November 20th, 2015, so almost 10 years ago. When OpenAI started 10 years ago, GPT was just a glimmer in Sam Altman's eyes, right? Like that wasn't really a thing. Well, obviously, because they made it, so it wouldn't be a thing when they started. But they started building. But the point being is they didn't know that like the AI race would just become a race of how many GPUs can you get, right? And there's more to it, but a big part of it is how many GPUs can you get, right? And so what the AI race has turned into is like, who can spend the most money getting GPUs? And again, there's more to the equation of how good an AI is, just how, other than how many GPUs you have, but it's a big part of it. And so I think if he knew that GPUs would be such a big part of the equation, he wouldn't have made it a nonprofit. He would have made it a for-profit. He would have made it as, how can we get as much profit as humanly possible? And so the rules of the game changed as it evolved. And it became apparent that being a nonprofit means you're not going to win the race. And so they had to change. If there's ways not to pay taxes, everyone should take advantage of it. Who cares? Says K to the C. I 100%. The one thing I'll add in there is legally. If there are legal ways to not pay taxes, you should take advantage of it. If there's loopholes, you should take advantage of it 100%. If there are legal loopholes to not pay taxes, everyone should do everything in their power to take advantage of that. Legally, 100%. You shouldn't break the law to not pay taxes, but you should legally not pay as many taxes as you can. If there are loopholes. The government wastes so much of your money. The government wastes your money, uses it improperly, has no idea, wastes it, corrupts it, gives it to their friends. So much of your tax dollars are wasted. Do everything in your legal power to not pay as many as you can. So I don't fault Sam Altman for going with the loopholes. Tweets serve as a bell ringer. You can tell that an event happened, but not really what happened. Agreed. Elon's algo loves shoot posts. I agree, and it's horrible. It's horrible. That's not the way Twitter was. Twitter didn't push SHIT posting. I don't know if I can curse in YouTube's algorithm, so that's why I'm sounding like a big baby. Twitter didn't push crap posting. X does, which stinks. I hate it. This is very lie. You lie and it gets engagement. You are heavily incentivized on Twitter to lie. Everyone leave a like down below. Subscribe, turn on notifications. New video coming tomorrow. How should people launch new apps? Should they avoid the Apple App Store or opt for web-based alternatives? The App Store game is a very difficult one to play. To be honest, the mobile app game is a very difficult one to play. If you win the game, you make tremendous amounts of money. If you can go viral and crack the App Store, yeah, it's great. But I'd recommend starting with a web app. Just start with a web app, see how it goes. But if you come up with an idea that's great for mobile, then yeah, go with the mobile route. But the mobile route is, I think, a more difficult game to play. It's amazing. No BS drama talk. It's more about the vision of the future AI. Also, she has a great interview with Jensen Huang. Really, she does. I'm going to have to check it out. Are you building anything big now like Creator Buddy? Yes. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I'm working on a few things. I'm working on a toolkit of tools for vibe coding. That's probably my next big software project. My next big project overall is a vibe coding masterclass, which I'll probably drop the next month. I'm filming that all day today. That's going to be sick. Just a total masterclass of Claude and Cursor, and like, you take it, you'll have your own app by the end of it. And then I want to launch the vibe coding toolkit after that. And also I'm continuing to work on Creator Buddy at all times. It really is underrated how good Claude Code is. Yeah, Claude Code's amazing. Claude Code's absolutely amazing. So those are the news of the day. That's the news of the day. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We're going to come out with a new video, I think, tomorrow. I saw there's an Amazon App Store. Have I been under a rock? I don't know. If there is, no one's using it, so there's no point. If there is, no one's using it. AI news. What do you guys think? You guys like the AI news live streams a couple times a week, 3 times a week? You guys like the AI news streams? When I do the vibe coding live streams, they perform 20 times better. But when I do the news live streams, they perform way worse. But I feel like it would be cool to like kind of mix both in. You know, my mainline channel is like vibe coding tutorials, then live streams are like covering the news. But it seems algorithm-wise, people want the vibe coding tutorials. I average like 150 at a time on a live stream when I do vibe coding. But when I talk about the news, I get like 30. So I don't know. Maybe people like the vibe coding live streams better. I'm just doing we do a little experimentation with the live streams. Built a web app and I want to make an iOS app out of it. How do I do it? And I want to use Claude Code. I built a web app and I want to make an iOS app out of it. How do I do it? I want to use Claude Code to modify the app. Great question, Everest Chris. I'd go to chatgpt.com and put that exactly in. It'll tell you exactly what web technology you need to use. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do to build that out. 100%. Has anyone built a game or anything with 3JS and added skins or movement? What did use trying to make a Joe cartoon thing, but the movements are giving issues? I'm building some with, you want to see what I'm building with 3JS? Let me show you what I'm building with 3JS. This is a little side project. Both are great. These casual streams are like the recess after class. Good. Let me show you what I'm building with 3JS. You want to see my 3JS project? All right. This is a little personal project. This is a little personal project. I will be releasing this. This just won't be like a monetized product. This will just be like, hey guys, check out what I built. You can use it too. This will be just a fun, cool little app I'm going to release that anyone can use for free. It's a personal operating system styled after the Matrix. Matrix was my favorite movie as a kid, so it's styled after the Matrix. So you click access, it authenticates you, you're in. So you get this personal operating system, right? Where you can create notes. You have a file system where you can add files and notes in your files and folders, a bunch of other things, settings, and code in it. There's a database. But this all lives in a 3D room. So it all lives on this computer right here that we can use. And so this is a 3D room I built in Three.js. And this is obviously a work in progress. I'm adding way more to it. But I'm customizing this room with, has a time on the wall. It has the Bitcoin price on the wall. I'm going to add a bunch of other things like a live news feed, a to-do list so you can add to-dos on the wall. I'm going to add different objects around the room like a lamp. And if you click the lamp, it starts like a Pomodoro timer. It's playing rain sounds right now. So it plays just like light rain sounds in the background. I'm going to add like lo-fi so you can listen to lo-fi music. And it's just kind of like a productivity 3D virtual world to hang out in and get work done. You'll be able to customize it. I'm going to add like a bed and like a window and stuff around the room. I'm going to add a person. So there's going to be another person in the room. And it's going to be an AI agent. So you walk up to the person and talk to them. You can ask them questions. Pretty sick though. You walk up to the computer, you click on it, opens up your operating system again. Can you open this in your Apple Vision Pro? Eventually. How do you think using AI will look like in 2 years? It's already advancing so fast. I think we'll start to see a lot more hardware. Like right now, it's all advancements in software, but I think you'll start seeing like the glasses, and then AI will be weaved into everything you see in the real world because you'll have the glass interface. You'll see more robots. People will start having robots in their homes. So you'll start seeing a lot more robotics. I don't think we'll get super intelligence in the next 2 years. I think we'll be at AGI, which is just basically AI will be able to do everything just as good as humans. I don't think we'll be at super intelligence for a very long time, but I think robotics are going to be the big advancement. Would you guys use this? Would you guys, if like as you're hanging out, just like go into this digital room and like get work done in here and like use a Pomodoro timer and listen to lo-fi and like kind of hang out as you're doing work? Neat idea. Should wire it up with WebXR browser API for those headsets. Yeah, I'm going to eventually do that. I mean, clearly this is something built for like VR, but like I think what I plan to do is I'm going to put this in like my iPad under my screen and like do work on my monitor, but have this going on the iPad because you can have an AI doing a show from that room. Because you can have an AI doing a show from that room. Yeah, there's a lot you can do. There's a lot of different ways I can take this. Yes, if we can customize the room theme. Well, you don't like the room theme, Ani? You don't like the Matrix theme? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm going to make it so you can customize the theme. I'm going to make it so you can customize it. Make it look like whatever you want. I just went with the Matrix theme because I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was kind of a cool vibe, the Matrix theme in here. Should I vibe code a little bit right now? You guys want to see me build some things out with this? Let's add a to-do list to the wall. I want a big to-do list on the wall. So I have my to-do list up on this wall. Let's do that. Let's vibe code this a little bit. Let's pull open cursor, huh? Should we pull open cursor? You need your ape on the wall. Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking of adding the ability to add like custom art and stuff. I still own the ape. I still got the ape, which is probably a mistake, but whatever. Probably should switch to not my environment variable file, right? Probably should not have that on screen. Okay, cool. All right. Let's code this. I want to add a big to-do list to the wall on the right-hand side. Make it so I can click a button, enter a to-do item, and it displays in big letters on the wall. Boom. Let's add that to the wall. Let's add that to the 3D wall. And then we're just going to add features. Like I want to add like a Pomodoro timer too to the room. Where is your ex profile pic from? Says Everest Chris. It is from me being on a TV show. I was on a TV show. Your driver is arriving soon. Who sent me something? Between 9:30 a.m. and someone sent me a package. I was on a TV show a couple years ago. It was called, what was it called? Something Whales. Killer Whales? It was called Killer Whales. Basically what I did was it was like a Shark Tank style show where I judged crypto projects and stuff. It's kind of cool. I was on TV, and that was just a screenshot of me being on the TV show. Solo One. Hey, Alex. Thanks for all the good content. I have a question regarding the next phase from Actually. What's the question? Feel free to ask it. You don't have to ask me permission to ask me a question. You can just ask the question. Is it on YouTube? No, it's on Apple TV and Amazon Prime. It was season 1. Season 1 episode. I think it might be the last episode of the season, of season 1. Go ahead and watch it. I thought I was pretty funny on it. I told some guy he creeped me out. Alex was like the Mark Cuban of crypto. I was more the Mr. Wonderful of crypto because I was a jerk on the show. I was a big time jerk. Okay, let's see what we build here. I've had a large interactive to-do list on the right wall of your virtual room. Here's what it includes. Wall-mounted display, interactive controls. All right. Should we check it out? Let me switch over. I'm just previewing it now. Just as a preview, it doesn't work. Just as a preview, it did not work. So let me go back in here. The 3D virtual room is now blank. I don't see anything in the room. Let me just restart the server. Make sure that's not the reason why. npm run dev. Let's see here. Here, I'll share the screen. Window. All right, let's refresh. Loading virtual room. Yeah, virtual room's not loading now. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's share cursor. The 3D virtual room is now blank. I don't see anything in the room. Just my crosshairs. Sometimes we get issues with Claude Code. We'll fix it. How did I get invited? Well, I was when I started on Twitter, I tweeted about crypto and NFTs, and it's already, I hate when Claude Code does that. It tries to do npm run dev when I'm already running it. I'm already running the server. Let me fix the wall to do component. The issue is likely the text component trying to load a font that doesn't exist. I'll update it to use a custom font path. Check what's happening. The issue might be related to text component trying to. Did we get any errors in here? 404. Oh yeah, we did get errors. I'll take this. These were the logs, by the way. What was I saying? Oh, when I first started tweeting on Twitter, I tweeted about like crypto, NFTs, tech, a whole bunch of things. And so I became a really big account in that space. And so they invited me to go on the show because of that. I have a question from actually letting the AI code and for me to actually see the app that is created and go through the actual app. What do you use for this step of production? And go through the actual app for finance. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. It's kind of a broad question. I have a question from actually letting the AI code for me and seeing the app. So like, are you asking me how to run the app? Well, how to run the app is different for every technology you use. So I don't know what technology it's using. And so I'm going to give you an answer. And me giving you this answer isn't me trying to like punt the question. Me giving you this answer is trying to teach you a skill set that I think will be very helpful for you, which is like, I think one of the most valuable skills you can have in 2025 is the ability to be, and for those who have stuck with me for a long time, you've heard me go on this rant before, the ability to be autodidactic. The ability to be autodidactic. What does autodidactic mean? Autodidactic means being able to just figure things out on your own, figure things out by yourself. And I'm not saying, hey, don't ever ask me questions. It's not what I'm saying. But there are certain questions like how you're basically asking me, how do I run my app? Right? I'm building an app. How do I run it? And probably what was going on was maybe yesterday or this morning, you were trying to build your app and then you got stuck. You're like, oh, I can't run it. How do I run it? And then you stopped working on it because you couldn't figure out how to run it. And then a couple hours later, you find my live stream. You're like, oh, now I can ask how to run my app. And now you went in my chat and asked, which again, ask me whatever questions you want. There's not me saying, hey, no one ask me questions. Anyone can ask me questions. But there's certain questions like this one, like, hey, how do I run my app? That it's like, you could have saved so much time if you would have just became autodidactic and just like went to Claude Code and said, hey, app looks good. How do I run this? What's the best way to run it? And then Claude Code would have told you exactly how to run it. Or if like you just went to like ChatGPT and said, hey, I'm trying to build an app. This is what the tech I'm using. This is what the AI is doing. How do I run this? You would have been able to figure this out by yourself in seconds. Right? That's what's called being autodidactic. And 99% of people aren't autodidactic. 99% of people, the moment they run into a challenge, they just roll over and die, right? They roll over and quit. Oh, I don't know how to do this. I'm never vibe coding again. Oh, I don't know what the AI is doing. I'm never touching this again because I have no idea what's going on, right? 99% of people, that's the way their brains operate. But the most important skill you can have in 2025 is like you run into a problem, right? Maybe it looks like you're vibe coding solo one, you're vibe coding, and you run into a challenge. Your gut reflex instinct needs to be, I'm going to ChatGPT and I'm figuring this out now. And you open it up, hey, I'm building this. This is what I'm doing. How do I do it? How do I run this? You'd have it figured out in 2 minutes. The challenge is like, I bet you were doing this yesterday or the day before, and you couldn't figure out how to run it, so you kind of just gave up for a few days, and then you came in the live stream and asked me how to run it. And like, I'm happy to answer the question. I'm happy to answer the question. I'm just saying, in the future, you're going to get answers a lot faster, a lot quicker, and you're going to get a lot more done. Just like if you run into like a technical challenge, you just go boom, boom, boom. Here's what I got to ask. Here's how I ask it. Here's the prompt to do it. And you get the answer. You keep moving. You keep rolling. Keep it rolling. Right? I'm just trying to help. I was just wondering what you use because my Android Studio keeps bugging when running the React Native script. I spend a lot of time chatting with Claude Code for this problem with no luck. I was just wondering what you use because my Android Studio keeps bugging when running so you clearly have like a bug in the code. So I'd open up ChatGPT. If you have the $20 version, do Thinking 5 Thinking, whatever it's called, and like really walk through the issue with it. Here's what I'm building. Here's the apps I'm using. Here's the tech I'm using, right? And this is, again, not me trying to punt the question because like I could sit here and like ask you, okay, what code? Send me your code snippets. Okay, what was the, what apps are you using? What are you building? What's this? What's that? Send me that code snippet. But it would take up an hour of my time. It would take up an hour of your time. It would take up an hour of everyone on the video's time. So it's just a lot better for all parties involved if we become autodidactic, and learn to go to the AI and not just go to the AI, because it looks like you went to the AI, right? It looks like, oh, I was chatting with Claude Code. So you learn to go to the AI, but there's more there, right? You also have to learn how to, ask questions to the AI. What context do you have to give? What information do you have to give? Things like that. Those are things you got to work on as well. And then you'll get your answer. Because I promise you, whatever the problem is, it seems like the problem is you just don't know how to run the app. I promise you the AI can answer it. I promise you the AI can answer it. You just got to figure out what context you got to give. Alex teaching people to fish instead of giving them a fish. That's the best, Alex. Yeah, there we go. I'm teaching you to fish. Solo one. It's not me crapping on you, Solo one. I appreciate you coming to the stream, Solo one. Hit like and come back every day. I just figured I'd help out a little bit. Figured I'd help out. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here. The room should now be visible again. All right, let's see what we got here. Boom. Okay. Let's share the screen. Let's see what we got. So for those who are just joining, we're adding a to-do list to my 3D operating system. I built this 3D operating system. Okay. So we got the to-do list. It's like, it's clearly broken. They put it like on a random wall on the right-hand side, and I can't click on anything. But I kind of like the way it looks. Do we want it? Do we want it on like this right-hand side wall? I was kind of thinking we'd have everything on this wall, everything just on one wall. But do we have, I never thought about putting it on another wall. Do we put the to-do list on this wall and then we use this wall for like a live data feed? Like I was thinking about putting my entire stock portfolio up here, like put Robinhood price, Tesla price, things like that. And then having like a to-do list on the right-hand side here on this side of the wall. But this isn't a bad idea having it on this wall. I don't know which way do we put it on? Do we put it on which side? Which wall? Which wall do we put it on? I was thinking we could put it. I was originally thinking here, just so we have everything on one wall. But it's not a bad idea putting it on this right-hand side wall. All right, let's do this. Let's screenshot this. Let's screenshot this so I can give it to Claude Code. Let's go back to Claude Code. All good. I will keep practicing. Attaboy, Solo one. I like that. Good takeaway. I like that. I appreciate you. All right. Okay, the room works now. It just seems like the to-do list is very broken. It's off to the side on this new wall you created on the right-hand side, but it's not exactly on that wall. And I can't click anything on it. And I'll send the screenshot and I'll hit enter. And we'll get this fixed. We'll get this fixed. FinOS is a web-based operating system simulation built with Next.js 15, featuring a matrix theme UI for both 2D desktop and 3D virtual room experiences. The project uses React Fiber for 3D graphics. So that's what it is. How long do you think it'll take for AI to design framer level sites? You probably can do it now. It's probably already there. Maybe it takes a little bit of extra prompting, but I bet if you prompt enough and like you know what you're really looking for and you have a vision, I bet you can do it now. I built some pretty cool. I mean, look what we're building with this 3D room. I think that's pretty sick. You know, I think it's. I don't think you can one shot like amazing websites, but I think if you give it a good amount of prompting, I get 5,000 emails a day. of people trying to make me thumbnails. 5,000 people try to make me. I know my thumbnails stink, but I don't want to improve them. I don't want to hire people to make thumbnails. Here's the issue. Everyone who I get 1,000 people asking to email to do thumbnails and edit my videos. I do all my own thumbnails and editing. I know my thumbnails and editing stinks. Who cares? The issue is all these people that churn out thumbnails and editing, they all have the same style. They all do the same thing. They all have like the same sound effects and visuals. And like, I don't want to look like everyone else. I don't want to look like every other video. They all have the same styles. Every editing style sent to me is exactly the same. The white grid with things flying across it and like the keyboard sound as letters come on the screen. They all use the same sound effects and style. I don't want to look like every other video. I'd rather develop my own style, even if it stinks. I'd rather have a stinky editing style that's my own than a good editing style that looks like just like everyone else's. And maybe will that hurt my viewership? I don't know, probably, but who cares? Will it take up 5 extra hours every time I do a video? Yes. I'll hire people to edit when I'm rich. I'm not rich yet. I'm not going to spend money when I'm not rich on like when I can just do it myself. If you're not rich, just do everything yourself. Who cares? Have you ever tried selling info products? I'm working on a vibe coding masterclass. I'm working on a Claude Code and Cursor vibe coding masterclass. They'll take you A to Z, building your first app, marketing it, getting customers, all of that. Probably be out in the next month or so. If you want info on that, sign up for the newsletter, alexfin.ai. alexfin.ai for the newsletter. There's 40,000 people subbed to that. Been working on that for a while. Getting a phone call. Is this the UPS guy? Let's see how this looks up here. I'll put on the see how this looks. Hello? This is Coinbase contacting you about a recent password reset request. Coinbase, my password was reset. If this wasn't you and you would like to talk to our support team, please press 1. This is definitely definitely the real Coinbase, huh? I feel this, Alex. I just create and I want and grow naturally. YouTube is a grind too. Yeah. It's the best way to do it, Julie. It's the best way to do it. Do it naturally. Do it your own way. Do it authentically. Do it in your own style. That's why I've never hired anyone. I've never hired anyone. I guess the API for the... All right, let's see here. Is this... I've never hired anyone. I do everything myself. I've never hired editors. I've never hired thumbnail people. I've never hired writers. You know, a lot of people, when they get a newsletter, they'll hire writers for the newsletter. They'll kind of push everything off so they don't have to do any of the work. I do all of it myself. I write all my own newsletters. I make all my own thumbnails. Still broken, still not on the wall and just floating in midair. Still can't click on any of the buttons. You know, I think that if you learn how to do everything yourself, edit, make your thumbnails, all that, like you also just learn the craft better. You understand what goes into it better. And everything just feels more human. Everything just feels more you and authentic. You know, when I'm worth $10 million, yeah, I'll hire someone to make the thumbnails. But while I'm still just a thousandaire, I'll make the thumbnails myself. Why eat up a percentage of my income by hiring a thumbnail person when I'm not rich? When I can just do it myself. I'm not rich yet, so I'm just going to do it myself. LO, I'm in the UK and same call today. Yeah, I have these Coinbase people, man. I just moved to California too, and they're using friggin' they're using like San Francisco zip codes or the area codes to call me. How do they get that already? What's the easiest way to make good money with AI? I feel like it's selling websites to local businesses. That's what's been working for me at least. I don't know. You got to figure out what fits your skill set. Figure out what fits your skill set. Like for me, what's been making the most money is building apps and launching them and then charging for the apps, right? But that fits my skill set because I'm really good at building apps and I have a large audience, so I can build apps that solve their problems. And so that's what fits my skill set. But maybe that's not what fits your skill set. Maybe if you don't have a large audience, then yeah, maybe you want to build websites for local businesses because maybe you have connects at local businesses. Or maybe you want to help local businesses become more AI integrated and you go and you help them implement AI in all their processes, right? So it depends on a couple things. It depends where your skill sets are. It also depends where your interests lie. Like I love building creative experiences, right? Like I love building this. I love building share screen window. I love building stuff like this. Like I think this is sick. I love building 3D stuff like this and building cool stuff. Building operating systems. Like this is fun to me. So it fits my skill sets, it fits my interests. Ikigai, is that what they call it? Ikigai? Stuff you're good at, stuff you love, stuff like that. This is it for me. Building apps. I'm good at it. I love it. You know, you got to ask yourself what you're good at, what you love, what you're set up to succeed in, stuff like that, you know? What's been working is the easiest because you're already doing it. Yep. Launched my site last night for helping businesses. That's great, some V81. I love that you're turning this into a business. That's great. You're creating wealth for yourself. You're creating opportunity. I think AI is the biggest wealth creating opportunity in our lifetime because it's completely democratized. Anyone can do it. Anyone can go and just start building anything they want. All right, so we got here. Now we got it on the wall. So it's on the wall now, which is a win. We couldn't get it on the wall before, but I click it and I can't add new tasks. Let's go back to cursor. I've simplified the wall, removed all HTML components, positioned it properly on the wall, made it a simple display, use only 3D text components. Okay, it's on the wall now, but I can't interact with it and add any tasks. Is this how it's supposed to be? Why do you pay so much for the X API? What's the breakdown? So I pay $5,000 a month for the X API because that's how much it costs. It costs $5,000 to get all the X data, right? So Creator Buddy, for those who don't know, is an app that is an AI that's trained on all your tweets. So it takes all your tweets, your thousands of tweets, and then it can answer questions based on your tweets. Now, to get those tweets, I have to use the X API because if you don't use the X API, they ban you because you have to against terms of service to use other APIs. And so to get the tweets, I have to pay $5,000 a month. Now, luckily, my app makes me over $20,000 a month, so it pays for the API. But yeah, that's why I pay it because the core of the app is being able to take in all your X data. Hey, Alex, big fan. What think about Claude Code SDK to not only build with, but actually integrate Claude Code in the apps and tools? Also talking about not actually coding tasks, but agentic workflows. I've been thinking about that, dude. I've been thinking about it, Raphael, about how I can implement it into apps I build. Do you have any good ideas? I've been brainstorming. I can't think of anything like that's money. I'm trying to think of good agentic workflows I can use for the Claude Code SDK, but I haven't been able to come up with anything too compelling yet. What are you doing with it? What can I do with it? What are ideas you have? Help me out here, Raphael. Give me some ideas. Give me some ideas. What can I do here, Raphael? How are you using the Claude Code SDK? As a business, you can do 4 things. Do the same thing better for existing customers, do same thing for new customers, do new thing for existing customers, or do new thing for new customers. First is the easiest. What's the easiest? Doing the same thing but better for existing customers is the easiest. Is it? Do the same thing but better for existing. I don't know. You know better than me, Modelier. I just build apps. Next 2 are hard. Last is hardest. The hardest one is uh, doing new things for new customers is the hardest. Okay. Do same thing but better for existing customers. All right. Modelier knows best. Missed the good old days when Twitter API was open season. Yeah, man. My margins would be so much better if I wasn't paying $5,000 a month for the X API, man. You're telling me. Elon jacked that price up from $10 a month to $5,000. You kidding me? People have a hard time identifying what their special gifts are. Difficult to find purpose without clear eyes about who you are. Oh, 100%. Most people, most people don't know who they are. Most people spend their entire lives not knowing who they are, right? They're born, they're confused, and then they die, right? They're born their entire life, they're confused, and not really know who they are, confident in who they are, and then they croak, 100 years later. That's the human existence for most people. Very few people actually discover who they are. Very few people discover what their true interests are, what their true strengths are. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a very difficult thing to do, to discover who you are. It's a very difficult thing to do because for multiple reasons. It's very difficult because it requires a tremendous amount of effort to discover who you are. And most people in the world are not willing to put in that effort. Ooh. Vibe code on live stream. Uh-oh. There we go. Did it work? Didn't update the wall. I wanted to update the wall. Update the wall. What was I saying? Oh. 121. Almost at 122. It takes a tremendous amount of effort to discover who you are. Because you got to put yourself out. You got to do many things to discover who you are. You need to, first of all, discover who you aren't. What do you suck at? Putting yourself out there, trying new things, right? Like I'm trying this live streaming thing on YouTube. It's like my, 6th or 7th attempt. I don't know. I might suck at this. I might do this another 20 times and I'd be like, I suck. And I get closer to who I really am. I get closer to my true self and what my skills are and what I'm good at by doing things I suck at. Right? Most people, they don't want that discomfort. They don't want to go out there and get uncomfortable. They don't want to go out there and do a live stream. So they never discover who they are because they haven't discovered who they aren't. They haven't discovered what they suck at. Right? So they sit there in their safety box. They never, figure what they're good at, what they're bad at. So for most people, they have a hard time identifying their special gifts because they don't go out and try new things. I didn't know I was good at tweeting or making YouTube videos. I went 30 years of my life not knowing that. I didn't start tweeting till I was 30, and then I started tweeting at 30, and I'm like, oh, I'm growing. People must like my tweets. Then I started a YouTube a year ago now. My channel started growing fast. Like, oh, people must like my YouTubes. Now I've kind of discovered who I am because I went out of my way and tried those things. So a lot of people don't want to go out their way to try new things, and that's why they never discover who they are their entire lives. It's kind of sad. Hey guys, also if you're unaware, on Cursor GPT-5 is still free until 11:59 PST. Thoughts on Frontrunners and EP? I don't know what that is. Is that an album? What is that? The worst part of the closing of the Twitter API, all the apps that let you easily cut the dead wood from your following follower list all went away. The worst part about closing is that they let you cut the dead wood from your following followers list all went away. Yeah. I'm building a KYC automation tool. Yes, very boring from recipient side. App also almost done, but with credit card. So my current challenge is to find the best possible option for the agentic workflow. Yes, I'm building a KYC automation tool. Yes, very boring. But sometimes it's the boring stuff that works the best. App almost done with Claude Code. So my current knowledge is to find the best possible option for agentic workflow. Yeah, I got to do more experimentation with the SDK to figure out what I can do here. All right, so the to-do list is now working, but it's not updating live on the wall. So let's go back into Claude Code and figure out why it's not updating live on the wall. Window, Claude Code. Working now. I can click on it and add and remove tasks, but it doesn't update the wall. So I can quickly look at the wall and see my tasks. Let me fix that so the wall display updates in real time with your to-do changes. Perfect. I want to be able to look at the wall and see my to-do list real quick. I want to be able to look at the wall and see my to-do list. That's my goal. What do you guys enjoy more in the live stream? Do you enjoy me going over the news, discussing the news, giving opinions on the news, or do you enjoy the vibe coding and answer questions? I just sit here, build stuff and answer questions. What do you enjoy? What would be a more valuable live stream? Me talking about the news or me just building stuff and answering questions? Okay, so it's updating. Any real reason to use free plan of Cursor over VS Code? Any real reason to use free plan of Cursor over VS Code if I'm fine with using Git Bash for Claude Code? Just use the free version of Cursor. If you love Claude Code and that's all you need, just use the free version of Cursor and then run it inside of Cursor, Claude Code, just so you can see your code. Oh, any real reason to use free plan of Cursor over VS Code? If I'm fine, over VS Code. The only reason I run in Cursor instead of VS Code, Mark, is just in case Cursor starts adding more compelling features that I want to use in tandem with Claude Code. Right? For instance, they just added background agents a couple months ago. And so I wanted to test that out. And so that's why I use Claude Code inside of Cursor, is so I could quickly just test those other features out. Because I'm sure Cursor will eventually add other cool features that will work really well with Claude Code. And so that's why I use it inside Cursor, just so in case they come out with other features, I can just quickly test them out side by side. And so I can test things out like GPT-5 in Cursor when they launch it. So that's why. But like if you're determined like you don't need anything else, you just want Claude Code, then yeah, you can just use it in VS Code. All right, looks like it stopped working. Let's see how we do here. All right, system tasks. Build. Okay, so I think it's updating. So let's do this. Live stream for the homies. Add task. Exit. Oh. Live stream for the homies. Okay. All right. I like it. I learned more from the coding portion, but when this is done, I'm rewinding this and watching the news part at the beginning, which doesn't really answer your question. No, that answers my question. You like the coding portion more. Manus is low-key cooking too. It's way better than when you made that about Manus. Maybe I should do a follow-up Manus video. I feel like Manus has been cooking in the YouTube algorithm. Let me see. Let's see. I like this app, vidIQ. My mouse. Oh, my mouse just died. That's not good. My mouse just died. All right, we're gonna have to charge the mouse. We're gonna have to charge the mouse and just chat. We're gonna have to charge the mouse. We're gonna have to charge the mouse. Okay, here we go. Actually, I got a gaming mouse. I got a gaming mouse up, but I don't have the regular USB on this MacBook because Google or Apple doesn't want to make anything of convenience for people. Actually, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Here we go. Gaming mouse connected. Gaming mouse connected. I hope. Is gaming mouse going to connect? Oh. Yes, connected. Cool. Where was I? What is that? Yeah, it's awful. It's gaming mouse connected. Gaming mouse connected. Oh, vidIQ. Let's see. So we can search keywords in vidIQ. Let's see this. Manus. Let's see. All right. So it's a 70, which is pretty good. It gets good search volume. Competition's all right. Competition's decent. Let's see. Manus AI. Manus AI. Ooh, even better. Okay, so Manus AI keyword's pretty good. This thing glitches all over the screen. Anything that's not Apple accessories glitches all over the screen. Alex, one more. Any thoughts on Super Claude? Can't see a real downside. Current dev stack is Claude Max and Perplexity. Claude Code implemented free curve. What's Super Claude? I don't even know what Super Claude is. What's Super Claude? Super Claude? Super Claude. Super Claude. An advanced development framework for Claude. What the hell is Super Claude? This mouse stinks. Anytime I use any accessories with my MacBook that's not an Apple mouse or Apple keyboard or Apple anything, it always is unreliable. Apple does that on purpose 100%. Super Claude, advanced development framework for Claude Code with 19 specialized commands and 9 cognitive personas. But like, here's the thing. That doesn't tell me what this is. Like, I don't know what that is. How does that help me? If you're making this website, tell me how that helps me. I don't know what that does. I don't know. Is it necessary? Probably not, because I don't know what it is and I've never used it. Development work, Git-based checkpoints, navigate back to any point in workflow, no context loss, AI-powered commits, smart documentation, code reviews. I don't know. I do all this already with Claude Code. 9 cognitive personas. I don't need it. Evidence-based decisions, proof avoiding vague claims, smart model routing. I don't know. Here's what it comes down to. Oh man, you gotta try Super Claude and let us know what you think. Here's my thing, and this is different than most people, I think. I try to be as lightweight as possible. Use as few plugins, extra apps. prompting techniques, context engineering techniques. I try to stay as lightweight. You can install a million different frameworks and plugins and all this. I just use Claude Code and I tell it what to do. That's my workflow. That's my workflow. I open up Claude Code and I tell it what I want to build. I don't need Super Claude, although I'm sure it's fine, Mark, on YouTube. I'm sure it's fine. I don't want to crap on Super Claude. But like, if you just install and use every extra add-on and widget and whiz-bang and use every framework and every friggin' context engineering technique and prompt engineering technique and use JSON and XML so that you can prompt better, like you're going to spend 10 hours a day just using every plugin and framework and technique. I'd rather cut it all out, trim the fat, trim the fat, trim the fat, and just go to Claude Code and say, hey, build me this app, enter. Git push, enter. That's the way I operate. Best guess on when Gemini 3 is coming out. Should be soon. Feels like you got that chart where it goes OpenAI, Anthropic, Grok. Gemini's up next. It's got to be the next one. Supposed to save 70% of tokens. I don't know. I pay the $200 a month for the super Claude Code, or the highest level of Claude Code. My current dev tech stack: Claude Code, Claude, GPT, and Man. That's a good tech stack. That's a good tech stack. When I first saw Super Claude, I thought, bro, got access to something that's not released yet. I'm like, what is that? Super Claude? Anyway, we've been going at it for 2 hours, guys. I think the next one's going to be Friday. If you got any feedback, let me know. Follow me on X. Send me a DM. Give me feedback on X. Leave a like down below. Subscribe. Turn on notifications here. I'm going to have a new video coming tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. Definitely leave a like. Leave a like. Leave a like. Leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't. DM me on Twitter. Feedback. You like better when we do the news? You like better when we vibe code and answer questions? What do you prefer? What do you enjoy more? What would get you to tune in more? News or vibe coding? I have a feeling vibe coding is the answer because the numbers are way higher when I vibe code. Anyway, love you all. This was great. This was fun. I really enjoy doing this. I think we'll do next Friday. We'll do this Friday coming up. 2 days, 9 a.m. Pacific. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. See you later.